Welcome back to the Shit Behind the Show, everyone. So this week I have been discussing growth mindset versus fixed mindset. Today I want to teach you some of the ways that you can transform your fixed mindset into a growth mindset if you have not already done so. So again, for me, it was starting what I call my healing journey. I know that's used so much. I thought I made it up because one day I was like, girlfriend, it's time to do some work on yourself. It's time to fix this shit. Because I kept finding myself in the same situations with the same types of men. And I was just in this stagnant energy of like, well, fixed mindset. I'll never grow. I'll never go anywhere beyond where I'm at. And I was so stuck on the past and what had happened in the past that I was not seeing the present or even planning a future. Just kind of going with the flow and attracting all the wrong people. And so one day, I was like, pick yourself up. It's time to pick yourself up and do this shit on your own. No one is going to do it for you. So part of my healing journey was developing a growth mindset. And there are a lot of ways you can do that. And I'm going to share some of the ways and some of the things that I kind of have to remind myself to do throughout my life, during life's challenges. Even when things are good, it's important to recognize where your mindset is and keep it there. I know it's hard to deal with challenges in life. Last week I discussed how to let go of control. And part of that, as well as changing your mindset, is realizing you can't control other people and their actions and how they treat you. And a lot of us falling on our ass is due to the actions of others, right? And all you can do is get up and show them, I'm better than the position that you put me in, or the things that you did to me. Those things do not define me or make me who I am, and I won't stoop to your level. That's another really harsh reality. You can't control other people's actions, and people will disappoint you. A lot of the reason why most people disappoint is because of how they feel within. And I talk about that a ton on my show, and I probably will some more because it's so true. People treat you the way that they feel about themselves. Always remember that. And if you always keep that in your mind, you will have more empathy, but also, more empathy for them, but also more empathy for yourself and more gratitude for who you are and the way that you see life's challenges and the way people treat you. So one of the ways, I think I'll number these. Number one is acknowledge and embrace your imperfections. This is one way that, and this is part of self-love. I guess self-love and growth mindset kind of tie in together, but we're not perfect and it's okay. Have grace for yourself. We are on earth to learn and grow. We're not here to be perfect. We're not born this perfect human who knows everything and has their whole life mapped out with imperfections. We are here to embrace the imperfections and to challenge ourselves. So embrace that and just realize you're unique, and unique is amazing. We don't want to be like everyone else. We're made from a different mold, and that is so awesome that we are not all the same. I know a lot of people like to follow the same path as others, and that, again, would be a fixed mindset. But we are going to change you to a growth mindset. Transform you to a growth mindset, I should say. Sometimes the blonde gets to me. Face your fears and challenges, insecurities, limited beliefs head on. Get excited for this stuff. If you find yourself terrified in the face of a serious challenge, stop and think, okay, let me reframe this situation and consider the challenge, like I was saying earlier, in the week is an opportunity. This is an opportunity for me to grow and change your perspective. It's so easier to engage with yourself. Okay, I'm going to change my mindset. I'm going to change how I'm seeing this situation and look at it as an opportunity instead of a challenge. The opportunities invite us to explore a new experience in life and adventure. Again, if you're looking at it as an opportunity, it's going to feel adventurous. Try different tactics to coach yourself. Listen to podcasts, listen to audibles. You may have a friend that is very wise. I have lots of them that you can go to for advice. But most importantly, coach yourself. Coach yourself every day. I've discussed many times that I have affirmations on a mirror in my bathroom, and I talk to myself. Tell yourself, you got this. It's okay. And you will be amazed at how well talking to yourself, that sounds so funny, but looking in the mirror and telling yourself you got this is being your own cheerleader, and it helps tremendously, especially your mood. Make sure you use this as a learning tool to press forward, and don't limit yourself to what is exciting and new and in front of you. Make sure you get excited about this and realize the abilities that you possess during this process. Implement those abilities into your life. We are all, again, so unique and so amazing, and we all have our own talents and our own things in life that just make us stand out and shine above others or next to others. Stick out and realize the ways you stick out. I can be kind of ditzy. I'm clumsy, but I'm funny on top of that. I love to make fun of myself. I really like who I am, which some people I think are turned off by that, but whatever, I don't care. I really value the knowledge that I have maintained and gained through all of my journeys, especially, in the last 6 years. It's been amazing. And pay attention to the thoughts and how you talk to yourself. This is so important. Start to pay attention to the words that you speak, the words that you think, the way you feel about yourself. If you talk about yourself in a low, dark energy, you're going to stay in that stagnant, low, dark energy. And it's going to be hard to see your success because you're going to be judging yourself. Limit the judgment. In fact, get rid of it. Replace judgment with acceptance. Hate with compassion. If you are disrespecting yourself or lowering your ethical standards, make sure you think about the fact that there are consequences that reflect that. You're not hopefully going around looking at others, calling them stupid or dumb or, oh, look at you, you messed up again, you failed again. We tend to be really hard on ourselves, a lot harder than we would be on the people that we really care about around us. Make sure you're treating that human with kindness and grace and love and acceptance, because at the end of the day, this is all you got. And it's so important that you take care of that human and treat that human with kindness and respect. Say the nice things, say the nice words, boost yourself up. Like I said, affirmations help a ton. Learn self-love and self-acceptance. That is one thing that was so challenging for me. Being a female and growing up in this culture especially is really tough. I am the typical Utah girl, blonde hair, blue eyes, and I'm fit, whatever, but it's hard. It's hard because there's so much pressure in this culture to be quote unquote perfect in every single way. Mother, housekeeper, friend, in career, like there's so much pressure, and image is everything here. And I really hate that about our culture. You go to other states, like I was in the South. I've been to the South a few times, and it doesn't feel that way. I'm not walking around like thinking, who's judging me? Who's staring at me? Who's looking down on me? But I tend to do that a lot in Utah. So be very kind to yourself, very kind to yourself. Because at the end of the day, again, no one's going to be your biggest cheerleader or bigger cheerleader than yourself. Stop seeking approval and validation from others, which ties into that. You need approval from yourself, no one else. I know it feels good to go to someone and say, hey, I've got this great idea, or I'm going through this in life, and you've got their support and they're agreeing with you and they're telling you, yes, you got this, but that's not always the case. So there are a lot of times that it can prevent a growth mindset because you're shut down again. Cultivate self-acceptance and self-approval instead. Learn to trust yourself. Learn to trust that inner gut feeling and that inner child. What does that inner child thrive on? What does that inner child seek? Learn to just, you can go to someone else and you can ask them for an opinion, but always remember it's just an opinion. And I can be pretty blunt. So if I go to someone with an idea and they give me an unsolicited opinion on it and I don't like it and it kind of takes the wind out of my sail, they no longer get to experience that with me, and I will flat out tell them, well, this is the last time we're having this conversation, because if you have a negative comment about my life and what I am trying to accomplish in life, then I don't want to share with you anymore, because I try to talk to myself in a positive way. Try keyword. I try to tell myself, you got this. You can do anything in life. So if someone comes into my life and they want to be a part of my life, but they don't agree that I am capable of doing anything I want, then they don't get to share it with me anymore. Sorry. And when I do accomplish that and I do overcome challenges, I'm probably the girl that's going to be like, I told you. I told you. No, I'm not probably. I am. Find and live your truth. This is so important also. I am such a soft-hearted, empathetic person. I've been told so many times, you're just too nice. I'm no longer nice. I prefer kind. And kind is a person who is empathetic, who will be kind to people, fair, truthful, but don't walk all over me, because you will find that kind means I set clear boundaries and I will not let anyone damage this girl within anymore. She loves herself, and if you're not on board, bye. And I am not afraid to tell you to kick rocks. I am over that part of my life. I don't need to be accepted by anyone else anymore. And I really would love to see everyone have that mindset as well. Because again, those people that are shutting you down, it's because they don't believe that they can do it inside. They have this limitation within, so they feel like you should have a limitation as well. And they probably mean well. They probably do. But again, find your own truth. Once you do, you'll likely be more driven to pursue even more goals and dreams. If you are one of those people who does not respect who you are and you let others not respect you, you're living in a fake truth. You are, again, following a path that someone else created that isn't yours. That's not being authentic. That's not being genuine in who you really are. Really, really find the truth within. Really, really find, like, who is this person? What does this person really seek? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? How can I overcome these weaknesses? And live that truth. This is who I am. Again, going back to the culture, why do I keep discussing that? It must be like something I need to address. The culture here is so hard on people, and it's live in this lifestyle that someone else created. Someone else is telling you must live in, and you must act a certain way. That is not living in your truth, unless you really truly feel in your gut and soul that that's who you truly are, and you're not doing it for outside influences, and you're not doing it because a book tells you or a person tells you or a congregation tells you, if you are just truly doing it because it makes your heart sing, then you go for it. But if you're doing it because someone else tells you you're not good enough, if you don't, that is being fake and not being true to yourself. And at the end of the day, you're going to find yourself not feeling so happy. I think this is a lot of the reason why we have what we call the hoe phase after divorce, because again, there's this pressure here, and I can only speak for here, but this pressure to be so perfect, to be so great in marriage, to wait until you're married to have sex, to create this beautiful, huge family. And if it doesn't work, it's a failure. And can you imagine the pressure that is on a person when they feel like they have let down a whole community, a whole congregation, someone who is higher up, and they let them down? I had that happen to me. And I will never, ever forget the day that I was told, you are letting down a higher being by divorcing someone who's abusive. Doesn't make sense, does it? It made me feel like the worst human in the world. Now I have self-acceptance. I live in my truth. And I don't give a shit if anybody else lives in it. I swear on my podcast, other states, it's fine, it's accepted. Utah, it's not accepted. I've been told, you need to stop swearing on your podcast. Really? Joe Rogan does. Why can't I? Thank you. Wow, off my soapbox with that one. Whew. Thanks for letting me get that off my chest. Cultivate a sense of purpose. This, ladies and gentlemen, this was the hardest part of being single. This is the hardest part of all of my challenges in life, I think. If your life doesn't feel purpose-driven, if you feel like you have lost your purpose, that is so detrimental. It is such a dark place. It makes you feel like you have nowhere to go, no reason for being. It is a really hard place to be in. If you are thinking like, what is my purpose in life? And you draw a blank, that's a tough place to be. Make sure you meditate, contemplate, really think about it. What is my purpose? We all have a purpose. We all have many purposes. And if it is just to be happy with this person right here and to reach the goals that this human, this wonderful human that you live with every day has, then that is a purpose. If it's a podcast every day, one of my purposes in life is to help others and to help see them through their stuff. Because I would have given anything when I was going through divorce or any of the challenges that I faced in life. I would have given anything to have someone say, let me hold your hand. Let me talk you through this. I've been there and I got you. Let me just tell you what I did and how I did it and whether it worked or didn't work. And let me help you navigate this to where you come out the other side shining. That would have been amazing. So now I want to be that person. This is my purpose in life. And if 5 people get something from it, there's my purpose. There's my happiness right there. And that makes my heart really happy. So find your purpose. Really, really just, take a day if you need to and just really think about it. What are some things in life that really just make my heart sing? Where is my purpose? Maybe it's being a parent. I remember after divorce, my purpose when I was married was taking care of the home, taking care of the children, taking care of a husband. That was my sole purpose in life. I had friends, but they were friends that I made through my kids or my husband. So after divorce, you lose a lot of friends, you lose half of the time with your kids, and you lose your spouse. So I remember sitting there one day just thinking, I have no reason to even be here. I have no purpose in life. And that is one of the hardest realizations in life, that your purposes in life have been taken from you and you have to develop a new purpose. Did I still have a purpose? Yes. Could I see it? No. I felt like I had no reason to live. And that's a really sad, scary place to be. So cultivate a sense of purpose. Redefine genius. Oh, I love this. We all have strengths and weaknesses. Every one of us are a genius. Every one of us have that in us that just, if we could express, which I'm having a hard time expressing right now, if we could express who we really are, every little piece of us, every bit, and we could build this puzzle, it would be so beautiful and amazing. I have got so many just wonderful, amazing friends right now. My circle's small. It has been for years, but just amazing, amazing people. And each one of them, they're all unique. And every one of them are genius. In one area or another, I can think of all of my friends right now and think of ways that they are just freaking brilliant and genius. And I wish I could be more like them. But they also come to me and they're like, damn, girl, you're awesome in this area. You're a genius. And I'm like, I am. I am. We all are. And redefine that for yourself. Where am I a genius? Where am I so good at something? I got a talent. Maybe to you, it's just minuscule. But if you were to mention it to someone else, they'd be like, damn, I love that about you. I love that attribute. And that's amazing. So redefine genius in your mind. What is genius to you? Genius is so broad. And again, we all have it in us. And it's an amazing trait that everyone has, but it's just, how do you cultivate that? How do you express it? Find ways that you express your genius. Turn criticism around until you find its gift. There are gifts in criticism, and there are gifts in letdowns. And constructive criticism can be good, but criticism is a way to make things better, to flip, right? But it's really hard to take. Don't criticize yourself. Someone else can see what you were doing from a slightly different perspective than you and may have a valuable suggestion on how you can flip it. Embrace those suggestions. Now, they don't, if they're coming off as abrasive, you don't need to accept that, or if they're not supporting you, but be open to those suggestions, especially from someone who's been on the path that you're on and they know what you're facing right now. Those are the best people to go to for suggestions. And be open to criticism, but turn that criticism again into a learning experience. Value the process over the end result. This I talk about all the time. Value the journey. Value today over down the road or the past. It's the process of right now. This is so exciting. I can think back, I'll go back again to my health. While I was in it, I was just thinking, if I come out of this, I'm going to be so grateful to be alive all the time. I'm going to be so grateful for my health. And it was the process of just learning all of these things about my body. And one thing I learned is I'm stubborn. Yeah. Another thing I learned is I ignore warning signs very well. I just go on with life like, oh, I'm passing out every day. It's fine. I'm fine. I'll just get up. No, that was one thing that I learned that I will never do again. So value the process. Learn from the mistakes of others. Again, this is why I started a podcast. I wouldn't say my journey has been full of mistakes necessarily, but if I can help someone to navigate the things that I've gone through differently and learn from the things that I have done that didn't work out so well, quote unquote mistakes, then there's value in that, right? Learn from that, grow from that. Make sure you find the lesson again in that. Okay, again, never is just a not yet, and not yet is okay. Have patience. I am terrible at this. I have no patience. Like, I'm the girl that I sit at the stoplight and I'm like, this thing's just taking too long. I have nowhere to be, but it's taken too long. And that's how I am with my journey. I am so impatient. That is one thing that I know I am here to learn. Because again, never is just a not yet. And it's okay. It's just fine. And I'm working on this. Remind yourself that you just haven't mastered it yet. You just haven't made it there yet. You haven't hit your goal yet. But you're enjoying this journey until you get there. There's no never. I love never say never because it's true. Because I've said it so many times and then never turns into it. It just was a not yet, and now it's here, and I've told everyone never, and now I look like a dummy. It's never going to happen. Oh, it happens. And then they're like, see, I told you. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Take the risks in the company of others. And try not to take yourself too seriously. I used to be so OCD, live in perfection. People commented all the time, how do you keep your house so clean with 3 boys? I never stop. I vacuum behind them. I straighten up the whole house behind them. I'm constantly washing faces and combing hair and, myself, I was all done up every day and just to sit home with kids. Hello, if that's not insane and drives you insane, like wiping up crumbs from 3 boys all day long and sweeping floors and mopping mud just wears you out. Any of you mothers that have boys, you get it. You get it. Like, it is tough. And I just lived in this, I've got to be perfect all the time. And don't take yourself too seriously. I took myself too seriously and my mothering too seriously and everything. And now I love to be the butt of the jokes. I joke about myself all the time. My guy and I think 90% of our conversations throughout the day are joking toward one another. And if anyone else was to hear, if anyone else was listening to what we were talking about or read our text, they would be like, you guys are kind of mean to each other. No, we're just joking and it's fun. Like, he has a really serious long-term disability now. And we joke about it all the time. I try to be really careful with that. I need to make sure he's okay with me discussing it. He doesn't want to be on my show though, so you'll never see him, but unless you're friends with me in personal life. But that's how we've made it through. We joke about it all the time. I am a little person. I'm thin. I work out. I'm kind of obsessed with it because it does make me happy to reach those health goals, right? And fitness goals. Oh, he'll say things. I'm like, yeah, I just got done with my workout. And he's like, about time, fatty. I know he's kidding. Or I will make jokes about being, in a looking differently or whatever. Jokes about myself all the time. I joke about me being a dumb blonde all the time. And this is no judgment toward anyone else, by the way. This is just me. I just joke about it, all the time. We are children. A lot of people tell me I don't look my age. I fully believe that is because I don't take life too seriously. Now, I'd be a liar if I said that that everything in life I don't take seriously. There are things that are really hard in life that I try really hard and I will joke about still. But I have a lot of days where I'm like, oh, this is so tough. And it's really hard for me to not take it serious. But really try to not take it too seriously. Be realistic with yourself. It takes time, sometimes a lot of time, to learn, to grow, to learn a new skill, maybe you're trying to learn to play an instrument. Maybe you want to have your own show. Maybe you want to start your own business. I started writing a book 4 years ago, and I haven't finished it. It took me a while to learn how to do the podcast on my own. It takes time, and be realistic about that time. As long as you're chipping at something every day, whether it be mindset, whether it be physical goals, emotional goals, whatever it may be realistic with yourself. And again, have grace. And also, speed is not important. I was on a flight with this really interesting couple. I went to North Carolina, a couple months ago, and the flight home, which I just know was just destiny. I sat by this amazing couple. I sat in between them, and they were both famous. And the guy looked at me and he said, I didn't make it big until I was your age. And he's like, don't give up on your dreams. It just takes longer sometimes than you think, but one day you'll just turn a corner and there it is, and you'll make it big. Just keep trying, keep pushing. And that's really stuck with me because, again, he's been there. And he was an older gentleman, just amazing people, amazing. And I've thought of that a ton since. I've thought of that, like, there's no time limit. We're just living life. Go for it. But it doesn't have to be speedy. You can take it as long as it needs to be. Focus on the end goal. Focus on the journey right now. Fully engage. Put your effort into the process. Really, really let the past go. Don't focus on past failures or past instances where you didn't get there. Focus on the goal for the future and just stay on your path. And remember that speed is not an important thing. Own your attitude. This is something I'm so proud of myself for doing. I'm very self-aware. I own it. If you value having a growth mindset, then take the time and effort to develop it. Be persistent with yourself, and you will see that opportunities will come. Cultivate resilience. Resilience is so important in life. You are rewiring your way of thinking, and that is so awesome. That the brain is a muscle, and you're working on it every day, and you will see, like, I can look back now to the darkest point of my life, and where I am today, even on my hard days, is miles and miles and miles ahead of where I was then. I am so very proud of myself. I am so very proud of how far I've come. I know so many people in my life that have done the same, and I look back, my children, I have the most amazing kids. I mean, every parent thinks so, right? But I look back at where they were during the divorce process and who they are today, and even just saying that makes me feel emotional with pride. They are the most amazing humans ever, inside and out. They are so successful. They are so kind, and I have the most amazing grandchildren and amazing daughter-in-laws. And just watching the progression from a hard point in their life to now, and how they've navigated that, and how they also have a growth mindset, which makes my mama heart so proud. It just makes me so happy to see. And I see that in my friends. I see that in my family. And I love seeing it. I love celebrating the wins with people and seeing the growth. So that's what I'm going to leave you with. Celebrate your wins. Celebrate your growth. Enjoy this process. Learn to exercise this muscle called the mind and develop a growth mindset. I promise you, you will see things differently. Things will start turning around for you. You will be able to manifest the most amazing things in life, and you will find that you handle challenges in life so much easier and different. I promise it's different. Will you still have hard days? Yeah. Will you still need therapy? Probably. I do. I enjoy it though. I love therapy. You will still need advice, but you will also see that you get through it a lot easier. Those bad days become bad moments, and just that, a moment or a day, and then you're able to switch it. I promise. And report back to me. I want to hear, I want to hear how you've transformed yourself from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. I love getting the feedback from all of you. I do get a lot of feedback. I love the texts. I love the DMs. I love hearing that I've inspired you to follow your dreams. I've had a lot of people reach out to me and say that I inspired them to start a podcast, and I love that you share that with me. My goal in life is to help you transform the mindset and who you are inside and navigate the challenges in life differently and easier. So thank you again for joining me. So much love to you all. Have a wonderful day. Bye.